Looking at the precocious talent that was Michael Jackson, it would have been hard to predict the life of contradiction and struggle the coming decades would bring. He secured fame and success, yes, but genuine happiness seemed to elude him. Jackson had one of the most famous faces in the world, but he was never happy with it, embarking on a grotesque series of plastic surgeries, changing not just his features, but the colour of his skin.
He was surrounded by, I hate to say it, the evils of the entertainment industry. When I say that, I mean people that only care about his profitability and not about his health and his well-being.
He always denied having extensive surgery, but claimed to have been teased about his appearance. He spoke too about years of torment and abuse at the hands of his father. And as he aged, he actually seemed to regress, perhaps searching for a childhood he had missed, controversially searching out the company of children. Neverland, complete with its fairground and zoo, was Jackson's way of making up for lost time, entertaining thousands of youngsters. But his sleepovers and special friends changed the public perception of the star. Many questioned whether he was Peter Pan or pervert. In a 2003 documentary, Living with Michael Jackson, the star seemed stunningly divorced from reality in terms of his sense of what was acceptable.
Is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
That's a beautiful thing.
That's not a worrying thing?
Why should it be worrying? Who's the criminal? Who's Jack the Ripper in the room? It's very loving. That's what the world needs now. More love.
Naive or cunning manipulator. Whatever the real Michael Jackson, the magic of Neverland soured with two claims of sexual abuse against boys in little over a decade. The first was settled out of court with a £10 million payment. But the increasingly awkward figure had to publicly defend himself in 2005 on multiple charges of abusing a 12-year-old. His appearance at court, sometimes wearing pyjamas, did little to dispel the image of Wacko Jacko. He was found not guilty, but his public branding as a serial child abuser took its toll, physically and mentally. He retreated from public life.
It's amazing in the last hour to see how many people are now praising him that wouldn't go near him in the last several years and condemned him. In my last conversations, including conversations a couple of months ago when I was teasing him, I was coming to England to see him perform again. He talked about how many people had let him down, but I told him it didn't matter. He had never let the fans down.
The claims only exacerbated what had long been Jackson's bizarre behaviour. His parenting abilities had been questioned well before he dangled his youngest child from a balcony in full view of the cameras. And many feared he was passing on his paranoid obsession with health to his children, shielding them from the daily risks of life. This was, after all, a man who achieved notoriety for sleeping in an oxygen tent. And towards the end, even the rags to riches story which the talented kid personified unravelled. Despite having a personal fortune once estimated to be in excess of £200 million, he was heavily in debt, even selling his beloved Neverland. The pop star Michael Jackson is destined to be remembered for so much more than his music. Michelle Clifford, Sky News.